Hey, my name is Chris. I'm the Louisiana coordinator for the Zeitgeist movement, and I'm here to tell you why I support the Venus Project and the resource-based economy. And in order to really explain that, first I have to clarify that I am abundantly convinced that the current monetary system that we're in, pretty much all over the world right now, is completely unsustainable. I'm very much convinced that it is. And my reasons for this, believing this is, well, for one, is the competitive market. I've always wondered how well the competitive market, when I was a kid, how well it worked. And as I got older and I started looking into it, it's never been really demonstrated to me that it does work. I mean, all we seem to have are the books by, we have the one book, The Wealth of Nations, by John Smith. It was written back in the 1700s, and we have no shortage of books by modern-day economists who pretty much believe that the competitive market works. But really, when you get down to it, when you really question the fundamentals of a competitive market, what is competition? What is the defining factor of a competition which sets it apart from other interactions between people? Well, a competition is where two people interact and one person, or either one or both parties, must accept a loss. That's the defining factor of a competition. There must always be a loser in a competition. Now, some people would like to say that, well, there must always be a winner too, but no, that's not the case. A stalemate, a draw, is in the not victorious category. Two people can beat each other and come to a stalemate, but neither one of them has won anything. Neither one of them has drawn any benefit. If anything, they have actually suffered a loss to gain no benefit, which is the reason why stalemate, why draw, is in the not victorious category. So in a competitive market, when you really get down to brass tacks, there must always be a loser, and it can either be one party or it can be all parties involved. But there must always be a loser in a competitive market. And when you have a system set up that way, how does it take care of everybody? I mean, the system is designed in such a way that there must always be a loser. How can you make the assertion that everybody can be taken care of? I mean, to me, it appears that the system is designed in such a way where it can't take care of everybody. It's an inherent part of the system. The system wouldn't work if it could take care of everybody. But anyway, I'm just pointing out why I don't like the current paradigm. And not to mention the fact that the further up the competitive market you get, the less the elites believe in competition. They believe in monopolies and cartels. They don't believe in competition. Right here in my town, we have Comcast on one side of the river, and we have Suddenlink on the other. These guys don't compete. But anyway, let me get to why I support the resource-based economy, and not just why I don't support the current system. For one, I'm convinced that the resource-based economy would allow a lot more freedom. I mean, if I'm not restricted by money, I can go back to school if I want to. It would be free. I can educate myself more effectively. The school that is educating me can afford the best equipment if necessary. When you have to afford it, that would be free. I could travel the world if I wanted to. I could study in France or in Japan, or I could pick my school anywhere in the world. There wouldn't be any cost attached to it. I mean, you can't get more free than that. That is true freedom. But right now, I am stuck here in this crappy little apartment in my hometown, working every day and still struggling to get by. That's another gripe I have with the current system. A good, honest, hard-working person in the current system still might not make it. That's an indication the current system doesn't work. But let me get back on topic. In addition to I'm not going to say total freedom, but a lot more freedom that the resource-based economy would grant to everybody, and not just the people who do well, based on any given criteria. The system of a resource-based economy appeals to me because it is the only system that deliberately intends to provide abundant resources. Every other system intends to promote scarcity in order to keep prices high. I mean, the resource-based economy, the Venus Project noted this. They noticed, hey, every competitive market on the planet is trying to keep prices high by keeping the resources either scarce or inefficient, and by doing so, they produce shoddy merchandise in order to keep things scarce and wasteful. And the resource-based economy is the only system that fixes this. It's the only economic model that addresses this problem. Another point of the resource-based economy that appeals to me is the fact that there will be fewer and fewer laws necessary when people are taken care of. There was a quote that my mother once told me when I was a kid. She said that if a man can't make an honest living, he'll make a dishonest living. And what that means is if the system doesn't take care of people, then yes, you're going to have more stealing, you're going to have more violence, you're going to have more crime. The resource-based economy makes a deliberate attempt to take care of everybody. It's not competitive. And once everybody's taken care of, then there will be far less crime. And because there's far less crime, there becomes far fewer laws necessary. In addition to the fact you no longer have to pass laws to protect everybody's property, when everything everybody would need is provided, and ownership becomes unnecessary. You won't even have to pass laws to protect your property. It would be a given. In addition to that, one concept about the resource-based economy that very much appeals to me is the elimination of unproductive business. You won't need bankers or lawyers or advertisers. You won't need nearly as many cops. You won't need probably hardly any politicians. I can't be sure that we would eliminate politics entirely, but you certainly wouldn't see a whole lot. You certainly wouldn't see many of them. That appeals to me because these people tend to be the richest in our society, and yet they produce nothing. Another nail in the coffin for the current system. A good, honest, hardworking person is going to struggle to survive, whereas the people who produce nothing often have the most money. In addition to that, when you eliminate the monetary system, which is the basis for success, wealth, and power in a monetary system, you eliminate the incentive for corruption. That appeals to me. I can't imagine why it wouldn't appeal to everybody. Well, unless you're one of the rich people who are among the corrupted, but I'm not going to get into that. But the final point, it's probably not the final point, but it's the final one I'm going to discuss of the resource-based economy that appeals to me, is when everyone is taken care of, and no one is inherently bound to their job, which they may or may not, probably not, enjoy, you're going to see, inevitably, an explosion of art and culture and creativity unlike anything the earth has ever seen before among humans, among humanity. And I can't honestly say that I'll be around to see it, but I would love to see that. I would love to see what would happen to humanity. What would be this explosion of art and creativity? It would probably be very much like a second Renaissance, I dare to say. I can't imagine what it would be like, but I wouldn't mind seeing it myself. But anyway, that's all I have to say, and that's why I support the resource-based economy. Well, that's a few reasons why I support it. I have many more, but I'm trying to keep this video short. Anyway, that's why I support the Venus Project.